recording?
There's this guy that eats this apple.
Want me to start Twitch?
Sure.
There's this guy that eats an apple in my class, and me and
no.
my noises.
And we're on Twitch.
But when he eats the apple, he's like, and he always does it in the middle of lecture.
Oh, that's irritating.
Like, wait till your break to eat your fucking apple.
Yeah, apple, unless it's cut up already into little pieces, then okay.
Oh, no, he eats it, like, all the way down to the core, doesn't leave, like, a single bit of apple left.
I do that, too.
That's fine. You're actually supposed to eat an apple upside down, right?
What?
The bottom of the core, you're supposed to eat.
You can eat the core, too.
Yeah.
I used to impress kids on the school bus by eating the whole core. They're always like the greatest party trick. They were like, what? And you know me, fat kid. I was like, I'll eat this whole apple. And they were like, no, you won't. And I would. I'd eat the seeds. I'd eat those sharp pieces in the middle. I wouldn't eat the stem. But, yeah, you can eat the seeds and everything.
No, you just used the stem to pick your teeth.
Yeah. What? Is that a gay joke?
You just used the stem to
Toss
pick
salad.
your seeds, to pick your teeth after.
Oh, that is the worst. One of the reasons I won't bring an apple if I'm going to be out away from the home long is because if you get a piece of the skin in your teeth, it's stuck there
like
all
popcorn.
day. There's nothing you can do about it. But yeah,
It's just stuck up there.
I don't know why you'd eat an apple in class. And then it drips a little bit. So I tend to usually get a bit of the juice.
I'm not
in
a
my
big fan
hand.
of apples.
Well, they're in season right now, honey.
I know. Macintosh, right?
Oh, yeah. I like
Come
the
from
sour ones.
Ontario.
Yeah. Good things grow in Ontario.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was
That's
born
right.
here.
You're not from here, so you wouldn't
No.
have heard that. Oh, yeah.
I thought you were going to start
Hey.
singing Johnny Appleseed.
What was giving you FOMO or whatever the hell about Vancouver?
Oh my gosh. So
Homesick?
there's this new show on Netflix, and it's the chef. His name's David Chang. And basically, you know how Anthony Bourdain did No Reservations, where it wasn't him cooking, it was about him going to different cities, experience the culture.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of he's doing. A lot more tamer than Anthony Bourdain used to do. But the very first episode, he meets Seth Rogen in Vancouver. And Seth Rogen takes him on a tour of Vancouver to not just experience like the amazing Asian food that's out there, but all these other kind of things. And it was such a great representation of exactly how I grew up. Like they went to this place called Van Dusen's, which is like this massive botanical garden. And there's a huge maze. And he was like, and they smoked so much weed throughout the whole thing. And he's like, yeah, we used to do mushrooms and go through this maze. And I was like, so did we. And, they went to the aquarium all stoned. And, like, it just reminded me so much. And the guy was just so taken, and he's Korean. And he was just so taken aback at the Asian influence in Vancouver and how, a lot of homes in the area that Seth Rogen grew up in have two kitchens because one's a walk room.
What's a walk room?
Where you walk. Use the walk and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
walk W-O-K.
yeah, W-O-K. And yeah, so it was so nostalgic for me. And I just don't understand how I didn't meet Seth Rogen at one point when we were kids.
I know, right? He seems so personable, and you were in the same circles.
Yeah, and the show Superbad, the movie, was 100% accurate when it came to how kids in Vancouver grew up, like those bad teens.
Yeah.
It was getting the run, trekking on foot to the party, running away from cops, getting to the party. Theirs didn't get broken up by the cops like ours usually did. Well, it did.
Yeah.
It gets broken up and then everyone scatters and
Did you guys do the beach parties? That's what we did here, Britannia Beach in Ottawa.
we did go down to Ambleside quite a bit, which was so stupid because it was legit right next to a cop shop.
But here's what I was going to say is, you know what we did? Because at Britannia anyway, it's so open concept that you could see the cops coming to break up your party
Right.
long before they arrived. So we would bury our Mickeys of vodka in the sand.
Smart.
And so then we'd be like, okay, we're leaving. And then as soon as they were gone, we'd go back and dig them up.
I
But the
love
thing is, if
that.
you were too drunk, you couldn't remember where you buried it.
I love that Mickey's of vodka.
You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Smirnoff?
What are you drinking tonight? I'm going to get a Mickey of Smirnoff.
Yeah, and you have to give your 19-year-old friends your $15, or back then it was like $5.
Right?
Oh no, that was cigarettes. Pack of Demorier for $5.
Oh, my God.
I have a question. Have we started the podcast yet?
I thought we did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In our minds, we
That's
did.
your job, John.
We're just taking a trip down memory lane
All right.
before we start talking about vacuums getting sucked up. Or no,
Ugh.
dicks getting sucked up.
Yeah,
vacuums.
see, you're right. We're trying to rope the listeners in so they're committed before they hear
Oh,
the
I
disgusting
see.
turn
We
on.
were just easing people in, You ease in. You don't just jab it right in there.
Like those tweezers from last week.
Right?
Oh, come on. Can we stop about that?
All right, fine. Let's talk about a vacuum sucking someone's ball off.
Yes.
Just one.
That sounds much more pleasant.
Boston man sues Dyson for $2.3 million after being partially emasculated by a vacuum cleaner. Well, you know what? If you're going to go after a vacuum company, go after Dyson.
Yeah, they got money. Their hair dryer costs $800.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you can get the just the one attachment for $500.
Okay, side note about Dyson, because we're in our 30s, and here we go. It's our only goal in life.
I think everyone wants to own a Dyson.
But I think the tide is turning on Dyson because I've been seeing a lot more reviews on Facebook of being like, it's all marketing, people. It's not any better than other high-end vacuum.
I got a Dyson. I quite like it.
Yeah, my parents had to have a Dyson, and it is pretty magical.
My mom likes it too. Justine, my sister, got the one, the V whatever, where it's the cordless one. You charge it up, and she says it only lasts like 20, 30 minutes. So if you have a big house, then it's kind of maybe not the best, but for little dinky apartments like ours.
Yeah, I was like, oh, my big, huge house that I live in.
You pretty much fart and clean your place, couldn't you?
Right?
Yeah, especially because I fart rainbows and glitter.
I'm sure you do.
Okay, let's get back to this dick.
Yes, of course.
Sorry, it was just one ball.
One ball. But okay, so here was this idiot. He's 47. You'd think he'd know better. It's not your age, John. His name's Matthew Blair. He's from Boston. Sorry, I just outed your age. Don't ever do that to me. Speaking of age,
here we go.
I got in a big fight with my friend Jana. The two women in my life, Jana and Jenna, they're
geez.
trouble. No, my friend Jana from high school, there's this cute guy I was chatting with, and he thought I was in my 20s, and I'm not going to correct him. So he happens to know Jana too. So she goes and asks, oh, I couldn't believe Jesse's in his 20s. He's done so much in his life. And she goes, what? We're the same age. Dumb bitch.
I would have said the same shit.
Don't you know to play along?
No, I
oh my
wouldn't
God.
have.
What kind of wing women are you? Play along.
I
would
wouldn't
do it
have.
for you.
That's
No,
where
I don't know.
That's where I've got your back, Jesse. I would have
Thank
played
you.
along.
I would have been like, I wouldn't have said your age, but if they were like, I can't believe he's in 20s, I wouldn't have been able to help it, but been like,
I can't believe he's in his 20s either.
For the record, this cute guy was a straight guy, so not the brightest tools in the shed, but, you know.
Wait, straight.
See,
What?
I rest my case how long it
and
took
I'm not
for him to
saying, I'm
get that.
staying far away from that one.
Anyway, I'm as old as I look, all right? Where was I? Matthew Blair, 47. He's from Boston. He went to the Boston Medical Center last month where he had to wait for 96 hours. That's how long it took them to surgically remove one of his testicles. Apparently, this cost him $1.2 million. Is that possible?
God bless America.
Oh, my God. So how? But
He had no health care.
so yeah, but how are you
No
ever
wonder
going to
they're
pay?
called the jewels.
yeah.
Gee,
He had to give one up
But
just
wait.
to pay the bill.
You
$2 million.
you were American for how does that work? You know they're never going to be able to pay that off.
I don't know how that works because I was fully covered by the
Oh,
school.
yeah, you're right. Well, he's got a bill for $1.2 million. They had to remove one of his balls because, as well, okay, this is so disgusting. I'm sorry. Surgeons were forced to remove one of Blair's testicles as well as the top section of his penis.
Why wouldn't you just take it all at that point?
Just transition. Yeah, seriously.
Just take it all away.
He required 37 stitches. Well, that's nothing compared to the rest of it. And it left him impetent because of his inability.
shit.
He cannot maintain an erection for more than a few seconds now.
I'm trying to picture this in my head. What a penis with one ball and a bit of it
It's-
missing
I
looks
think
like.
I think it was the top section, like where it attaches to the body, not the head. That's what I gathered from it.
Picture a Pez dispenser. That's pretty much what it's looking like now, I think.
Oh, maybe it is the
Take
top.
a Pez dispenser upside down.
Because I thought it was like this. The suction was so strong because woo Dyson, it started to like rip it off from his body, like from the pubic hair area.
Oh my God.
And like underneath where the ball sack starts, that's where it started to
Look,
rip.
if you're going to have sex with a vacuum, maybe try starting it on low.
Or just
Don't.
Yeah, there's that.
There's that too.
Listen, every man has thought about this. I've considered it many times ever since the movie. I think it was Road Trip, the same movie where he's like, I put peanut butter on my balls and let my dog lick it off. I've thought about that too. Never done it, but it crosses your mind. What
Yeah.
would that feel like? No,
That's never crossed my mind.
Okay, well, my dogs are really cute, okay?
I have a lot of weird shit cross my mind, Jesse. That's not been one of
No,
them.
I would never do it, but even the vacuum, I was like, I've considered it. I thought maybe if you put a balloon over it.
That may have crossed my mind. What would that feel like? But
Mm-hmm.
then, at some point, by the time you're 8 or 9, you've put the suction on your
Right.
hand or your arm and you realize, no.
God, men just are so like obsessed over their junk, like their genitalia. I don't understand. Women, we are not like we're connected to it, and ours is powerful. At least ours does shit,
Yeah, those things can take a beating.
right? But like, I don't.
Wah, wah.
play with it. I don't
Yes, you do.
hold it. I don't think about putting different things in it.
Okay, except for that little pink toy that sits on your nightstand.
No, I don't leave it on my nightstand like you leave your picture, you perv. But you know what I mean?
That's
And my fleshlight.
There are suction devices for women's genitalia.
I know there is, but I'm just
So somebody's clearly thinking of it.
well, yeah, that makes sense. But those are like specific toys. I'm not like cleaning the house one day, like dusting, and I'm like, I wonder what it would feel like to dust my pussy.
Some guys would pay big money to watch that, I'm sure.
I picture you more as a feather duster type, if I could be so bold.
But that's what I was thinking. Like, I don't think of taking foreign objects or household appliances and trying them on my genitalia.
Yeah. I remember once as a teenager, I tried to fashion a orifice out of a toilet paper roll, but I was too big.
Okay.
Oh,
I was.
Jesse.
So instead, he just cut little slits on each side.
He's not squeezing the Sherman.
Did you go to a
He
paper
is the
towel
Sherman.
roll?
They're the same size.
Oh.
I was too thick, not too long. I have a thick head, okay?
Oh my God,
It's a
enough.
big mushroom.
This has just turned into the ultimate billboard for Jesse on Grinders.
I guess so.
Jeez.
Last week, talk about being Jewish down there. Okay, back to the story. So
Forgot about that there was even a story.
there was. So
Oh,
this
yeah,
is
right.
Poor Matthew Blair. This is his quote. I don't recognize my penis anymore.
No
It's all flabby and limp, and I'm missing a ball. This was his testimony in court. His lawyer
His
said.
testimony?
Nyah, nyah, nyah.
His lawyer says his defense is
catch.
based on this. Quote, my client was not aware of the dangers of using this device in such a manner and was never warned by Dyson that such sexual maneuvers could leave him permanently injured.
Oh,
Dyson has a
God.
responsibility to make sure all their users are safe.
So
Okay.
what would that warning look like? You know, it reminds me of like the coffee thing with McDonald's. You know,
Yeah.
someone spilt hot coffee on them, burned themselves, sued them, and now they say, beware hot coffee.
Yeah, but so it worked.
what is the warning label going to be on a Dyson vacuum?
Don't use it with your
Do
dick.
not suck
I
or
would
fuck.
I would put a picture of this guy
His balls, yeah.
and
Ooh.
that.
Or just say not for sexual use.
If we can
For
do if,
sucking, not fucking? Like, I don't know.
if we can put graphic images on cigarette packages, let's put this guy's junk on a Dyson instruction manual.
But
Our
where do you end?
world is just
In the warnings.
so messed
But this is
up.
like saying that, okay, I'm going to fuck myself with a knife. And now I'm dying and
Right.
bleeding. Does
Right.
the knife company have to put a warning? Don't insert in your rectum?
Don't
Right.
stick your tongue in a blender.
Yeah.
Where do we have common sense anymore?
There isn't any.
There was no sense with that.
There is
my
opportunity
God.
to sue companies who didn't have things in writing and go after the money, and that's what this guy's doing.
Also, if you own a Dyson vacuum, then why don't you have health insurance?
What do you mean? Oh, if you can afford
If you
that?
can afford a Dyson vacuum,
I
why
see.
can't you have health insurance?
Yeah.
Sorry, the Canadian in me was like, what?
But even then, so he would still be screwed. Or, well, I guess he's not screwed.
Yeah.
But he would still have these injuries. He just wouldn't have that whopping bill. And the injuries, I'll take a $1.2 million bill over no balls and I can't get hard ever again.
If you're gonna do risky behavior like sticking your penis into a vacuum, you better have health care.
Yeah, you're right. But do you know this guy? I partially just started to feel bad for him because do you know how much he wishes he could turn back time and not put his penis in that? He can never have sex again. He's permanently impotent. And he's going to forever remember that time with the vacuum that ruined his life. That's sad.
Is it?
Well,
That
he's an idiot, but it's...
sucks.
Okay, so this is not the first time this has happened. Dyson got a similar lawsuit in 2012 by a guy suing over an a Dyson hand dryer at his high school. He was 17-year-old, put his penis in the high school hand
Burnt?
dryer, and he burnt it. So the Dyson was forced to remove all these things from the school.
I love those Dyson hand dryers too. They do a
Yep.
great job.
They do.
But why would you even want to put to dry your
Because
penis?
I told you, men have this weird fascination being like, what can I do with my penis? Where can I put it? Regardless of what the object is, regardless if it feels hot to touch. I wonder if it would feel different on my dick.
Yes, that was it. Was the heat. He's like, let's see what this hot air feels
Right?
like.
And you know how, like, when you put your hands in, it blows your hands so hard that the skin on your hands, the fat skin on your hands goes.
Ah.
bloop, bloop.
I
So
s-
maybe it was like, ooh, this would feel like having sex.
I suspect he was probably, this was in a washroom, right?
Yeah.
And he probably tried, the toilet paper tube and found he was, too thick. saw the hand dryer and thought, hey, now.
But so wait, before we move on, Dyson was forced to settle with his parents at the high school incident. They got an undisclosed amount of money.
This is the last guy.
This is the hand dryer guy. So I wonder if because he was a minor, maybe that had something to do with it. But I just can't believe that Dyson was found to be responsible in some way. So they're probably going to end up giving this guy some money.
Imagine being that kid at school that had to have the ambulance called because he put his penis in a Dyson hand. And what school do you go to that has Dyson hand dryers?
Oh, right.
Yeah, right.
University of Ottawa doesn't even have that shit.
He's in the Glebe.
Right.
That private school in the Glebe next to Jack Astor's.
But it's these guys and this obsession with trying to have sex with
Anything.
inanimate objects. This is what the next story's about too.
All right, let's
Here
go.
we go.
Good old Florida. We're in
down,
St.
down, down, down,
Petersburg,
down.
Florida. A man's arrested for having sex with a stuffed Olaf at Target from the movie.
Oh, no.
You know, the snowman from Frozen? That's Olaf.
That poses so many questions right off the bat. First of all, why wouldn't you choose Elsa? She's the prettiest. And if you're gay, choose the prince or whatever. He's pretty hunky.
Is there? There's no. I don't think there is a man prince.
The blonde with the long hair. Yeah.
Oh,
Come
okay. Anyways, so he's 20 years old. His name is Cody Meter, and he was very eager to play with his Peter.
Hans is his name.
Jenna's been
Hans.
waiting all week to put that line.
I
up there.
was.
Oh, I wasn't listening because I was looking up Frozen. Say it again.
I
Say it
said
again.
his name is Cody Meter. He's 20 years old. His name's Cody Meter, and he was very eager to play with his Peter.
Ha ha.
Yeah. So police were called to the scene after witnesses saw him take a stuffed Olaf from the shelf and start dry humping it in the middle of the store. Like most men, it didn't take long for him to get there, and he ended up jizzing all over this Olaf doll.
Oh, my.
Then he put it back on the shelf.
So wait, so he wasn't. I thought he would be fully clothed.
He was dry humping it, but he jizzed through his jeans.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
You've done that before, haven't
I
you?
sure have.
Well, yeah.
Anyways, like I said, Mr. Meter was very eager to play with his Peter, so he then turned his attention onto a large stuffed unicorn.
Oh, now that I can understand.
Right? A little bit for you, a little bit for me. And I think he was just super, super horny.
You think?
Super horny. Anyways, he was arrested and charged with criminal mischief. But the funny part about this is that when he was arrested, he admitted, he was like, yeah, I was doing stupid stuff.
You think?
Stupid stuff? Like this gross stuff. Like,
Yeah.
Well, the unicorn is less kind of gross to me because it's not a children's character. Do you know what I mean? There's
but
something
like a
about
unicorn
the Disney.
is, and if he went from Olaf stuffed
Unicorn is
animal
totally a kid's character.
to
It's
a
a
unicorn,
grown-up character too.
you know that they were
Fine.
in the same section though, in that kids section.
Of course. That's
like-
disturbing. Yeah, go hump a pillow in the adult furnishings.
Or just like go hump
Go
your
home
own
and play
pillow.
with your Dyson.
Yeah, you deserve it.
You know, or head to the bathroom and play with one of those paper
Yes.
those toilet paper rolls.
Yes.
See if you can fit.
Right?
It's a challenge,
It's a
boys.
game. Jesse and Jenna's messy challenge.
Bounty, the quicker picker upper.
Yeah, but it's a weird choice of characters too, I have to say.
Yeah, Olaf.
Wow. But that was a quick recovery because if he came with the Olaf
And then
how
turned
long
his attention
between-
to the unicorn right away.
He must have been on something.
He didn't say it. It didn't say anything in the article about him being on something. I think he was just, feeling it.
Wow.
Why don't you just put some coins in your pocket and play with them?
And but
Right? That's everyone's
It's not the same
disguises.
as Olaf.
Right? Like, gosh, let it go, let it go.
he
and he
did.
let it go all over Olaf. I wonder if he let it go
God.
on his whereabouts, face, chest, back.
oh my God.
Could you imagine seeing that though?
No.
Walking in a Target and you're just walking down an aisle and you kind of catch something out of the corner of your eye and then you look and it's a guy straight up dry humping Olaf.
My first instinct would be that it was like a funny video.
Right.
You're like someone's filming something.
But he's alone.
Wow. And then what did they do with the Olaf?
They took both the Olaf and the unicorn off the shelf.
And
Burned them, I hope.
Yeah, but like
Chucked him probably in the garbage.
until the next day, and then the new employees come in and they're like, "Oh, these need to be stocked."
Oh, why is this one a little crusty?
Oh well, yeah, 10% off.
And why are there not warning labels on them telling people not to do this?
Okay, yeah, exactly.
I mean, I know that I know that Frozen's a big hit and all, but like, come on. Out of all the characters, it's just a snowman. There's nothing sexy about a snowman,
He built something.
right?
I was trying to think of
But like, it's cold.
Do you want to build a
So
snowman?
like, I don't know. Do you want to bang a snowman? Do you
No.
want to bang a snowman?
He does have 3 balls, snowman.
That's true.
Maybe that's it. Snowballing is a popular
Hey,
activity.
now.
And,
What is snowballing?
Oh gosh,
Oh,
I don't know.
Jenna.
That might even be too much for this podcast.
I don't think I want to know then.
Go ahead, John.
Oh God, make me the adult in the room. The stuff that was covering Olaf.
Yeah.
Let's just imagine that that's in your mouth,
Oh.
and then you kiss your partner.
And put it in their mouth.
Yeah, and that's
I
snowballing.
even swapping spit alone is disgusting.
Well,
let alone.
Well, it depends how much pineapple he eats.
Yeah. Here's just a tip. Another one that you have to
Can't believe
learn.
I
Ew,
said
but you're not gonna like gargle it in your mouth.
You did it very
like
tactfully, I
mouthwash.
Thank you very kind.
Yeah.
It was don't grind up on stuffed animals in Target. Actually, take Jesse's advice and head to the home furnishings and get
Yeah.
yourself just a regular pillow instead.
Don't grind on anything without permission, including police officers.
Right? That too. And Jesse learned that the hard way one
I
time.
wish. Well, last night I hosted this gala for former RCMPs, and woo, there was some hot
Right?
guys in that room and women, but I was looking at the guys. Well, this story, I have 2 cop stories as a result of my event last night. The cops on the brain. The first one, this woman almost definitely made this cop's day, but there's, she got in trouble for it. Here, just listen to the story. There's a 24-year-old woman named April Teal. That sounds like a porny name.
That's
That
a
sounds like
very
a stripper
porny
name.
name.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that explains it. Wait till you hear, and we'll talk again. She graduated from the University of Alabama back in 2018.
Fuck you, Crimson Tide.
What? I thought that's where you went.
No, I went to Troy University.
Oh.
I hate Alabama.
Oh. Well, she was back there
Yeah,
last
I hope
weekend.
anybody who's an Alabama fan listening to them, fuck you guys. I hate your
Wow.
team.
Well, I'm curious about it because she was back there for a sporting event. She was on campus for Alabama's game against Tennessee.
Yeah.
What game?
Football. It's football
Okay.
season right
It's always football. in
now. Yeah,
the
it's
States,
always
Jesse.
football at
Okay.
Alabama too. It's always football.
Sure.
Well, after the game, she was arrested outside of a Waffle House because
Yes,
they've
I
only
love
gotta
Waffle
go-
House.
I know. I'm so upset.
The worst shit happens at Waffle House. Like the most entertaining worst shit ever. It is the best. If you are ever in the South, in any small podunk town, like because University of Alabama is in Tuscaloosa, which is a fairly smallish town. But go to a Waffle House at like 2, 3 in the morning because that's the only place that's open. And you can go in there and you get your hash browns and you can get them smothered, covered, capped. Like you can add all this stuff.
So
to
it's like
it.
a Denny's.
Yeah, but it's like pretty much it has other things, but in my opinion, just go for hash browns.
But there are so many of them. And I remember in
Oh,
college
yeah.
when I went to Panama City for spring
Oh,
break,
yeah.
We took a bus and 24 hours on this bus. I'll never do it again. But all we saw was Waffle House, Waffle House, Waffle
Yeah,
House as
the
we're
big
driving
yellow
through Louisiana.
sign.
Yes. And,
It's old school looking, and it says, I love me some Waffle
and
House.
we were all
Oh.
like, can we please stop at a Waffle House? And they were like, no. So I never got to go.
Oh my gosh, you missed out.
Anyway, so here she is, April Teal, porn name, at a Waffle House. And we're not sure why the cop was arresting her because
She's probably super hammered.
maybe that's, well, wait till you hear. I have a clip. There's audio coming up,
You
guys.
can get arrested for simply being intoxicated in the States.
Public intoxication. Here, too, I think.
Yeah, but I mean,
Drunk and disorderly. She was in
Just being
Tuscaloosa.
Canadian.
it's Tuscaloosa.
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 That's a fun name. They didn't release her arrest report, so we don't know why they stopped her. Anyway, but thanks to the video that went viral, we all know how she reacted. And as the cop was arresting her, putting the cuffs on her, April started to grind on his crotch, just like he was Olaf. And she said in a porny voice, "Oh, yeah? You like that? You like that, yeah?" Now, when you hear that quote, how would you think that she says it?
Oh yeah, you like that? Yeah.
Yes.
I'm guessing in a porny voice,
But
like
that,
you
exactly.
just described.
But like the way Jenna did it,
Yeah,
like a telephone
oh,
operator.
Yeah, you like that, don't you?
Oh,
yeah.
You know? Well, no. She said it like she was getting rammed hard. Like, listen
Really?
to this. I have audio. You
We have
ready?
audio?
Did he cuff
Yeah.
her from behind?
Oh, gosh, I don't know.
Is this from like his camera or
I
something?
guess she would have to cuff her from behind because she'd be twerking on his crotch from.
Yeah, right. Because
Right?
she was behind. She was backing up into him. This is the audio. I guess they wear like little lapel. I
Little
knew they had
body
dash
cams.
Body
cams.
cams.
Body
Yeah.
cam. Thank you. So anyway, here's the clip, and then we'll talk. Ready?
Oh, yeah? You like that? You like that? Yeah?
Who's laughing in the background? Is that the cop?
No, I think it's other people at the Waffle House. Probably.
I was just waiting her to throw in a daddy there, like,
Can-
oh yeah, you like that, daddy?
Can we hear that again?
Yes, John.
Oh, yeah? You like that?
Yes, I do.
You like that?
I hope you don't have an Olaf stuffed animal hanging around anywhere.
Sadly, I'm with it. I do have a Dyson.
She committed. That was like, wow.
I think she was on something.
No
Yeah.
kidding.
Like, I think she was hammered, but I think she was on something.
I can't be
too.
sure. I'll have to hear that again.
Oh, yeah? You like that? You like that? Yeah?
I just love the person laughing in the background.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yes.
what's
I know,
going
right?
on?
So based on that clip and her name, April Teal, I think she's a porn actress.
If not,
You
she
look her
should
up.
be.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah.
She might make some serious
Or
cash.
at least a phone sex operator.
So she was charged with disorderly conduct and harassment.
That is sexual harassment. And
Yes,
all
it is.
jokes aside, like
Yeah.
we laugh at this, but
Right.
when women do shit like that
Yeah.
to men,
Yeah.
it is sexual harassment.
Imagine it was the other way around. Yeah.
Right. If
Oh
that
my
was a guy
God.
dry humping like a female cop, we
Yeah.
wouldn't be
Game
doing
over.
this story.
Game over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you want to help April out, she's raising money for her legal bills on Instagram.
And I wonder how she's doing that.
She wrote, quote, I went through some legal trouble recently. If you want to throw me $5, Venmo me. I'd appreciate it. And if you're curious, her Instagram is called theycallme_ape.
Oh, a classy lady.
And her bio
throw
says,
her $5. I'm sure that's the first time she's ever said that to someone.
I'm sure it's the first time she's ever had
Here she is.
$5 thrown at her.
Why isn't she on the aforementioned OnlyFans website that you
Maybe she
taught us
is.
about
Oh
recently?
my gosh.
She could be a
Keep
porn star.
it classy,
her
Alabama.
bio says, sorry for what I did when I was blackout. She sounds like she'd be our friend.
Oh
Jenna.
yeah, I know for sure. I'm just wondering which.
Maybe I should get her on the podcast.
which sorority she's a part of.
Oh, here's her bitchy mugshot
Right?
from after the Waffle House.
And that ruined it for
I
me.
wonder-
Yeah,
what
you
was-
prefer to hear just the audio.
I
eh,
just
John?
wonder
Not
what she
now.
was going through her mind.
Well, she's okay looking, I
I
guess.
know. Yeah, like I think she probably just wanted to put on a show. She was drunk
Oh yeah.
and she wanted to.
Oh, yeah? You like that?
Hey.
You like that? Yeah?
She made she made it to your podcast. I mean,
She sure did. She's made it now.
Gosh, how do I switch gears to this story now?
Wait, we'll play an interlude.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah?
jeez.
You like that? You like that?
It's my new ringtone. So I think a lot of people have heard about this already because it's been out, but this haunted house that'll pay you $20,000
Oh,
to finish
yeah.
it.
What?
But nobody has made it through.
You haven't heard about this?
No.
So it's been in the news a lot, but I did some more digging and found like the actual waiver that they had to sign. So
Oh.
here's a quick review. It's in Tennessee, and apparently it's so terrifying that people have to sign this 40-page waiver just to go in. They also have to create a safe word, pass a drug test, and other things before entering.
Now wait.
Holy shit.
Sorry, pause there because my sister sent me this and she's like, you could pass this. And in all the articles about it, they don't specify the details. They just say what
Right.
you just wrote. They said nobody could ever successfully do it, but they don't tell you what's so bad about it. So I'm thinking, I've been to Saunders every year since I was 5 years old. There's nothing that could faze me at this point. So I'm very curious to hear what entails.
Jesse, I've seen the video of you at Saunders. And you are scared out of your mind.
Not as scared as this one. She's
I'm the
clutching
scaredy
to me
cat.
like
You
I'm
were screaming-
Hercules.
You were screaming. I thought it was Jenna screaming. No, that's Jesse.
No, I keep my eyes closed. I don't think I've ever been through a single thing at Saunders Farm with my eyes open.
Right, you were holding on to him
I just
Yeah.
close my eyes.
as he's screaming his way through this thing.
That's how you know she's scared because she's the man between the two
Right.
of us.
Yeah.
I close my eyes and I hold on.
All right.
So if you do make it through this haunted house, you get $20,000.
Okay.
Okay. It's called McCamey
McCamey, I think you were right.
McCamey Manor. According to his website, it's the world's only true interactive 4 to 7 hour extreme haunt experience.
I don't think I'd make it through the front door.
Right. The owner spent over $1 million on it, but you can enter it for free. The only thing that they ask is for a donation of dog food because they have 5 dogs on the land. So in videos that have come out, guests appear bruised, they're bloody, they're pushed around, blindfolded, screamed at, buried in mud. Some of them have even had their hair shaved off.
Holy crap.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, now you're taking this to another level because there's these Halloween shows that are on about right now, or I guess earlier this week because now it's Christmas, everyone. Day after Halloween. But they're called extreme haunts where people will like pretend
On
kidnap you
Oh.
and do things where they actually touch you and stuff. So I guess it's more in
Well,
that.
this one is it's the interactive,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
Yeah. Let's put Jesse in there, and he's out the minute they touch his hair. You know
Right.
that, right?
Exactly.
Fuck off. I'd have them running out of that building.
Okay.
There's a wait list of 24,000 people to get into this place.
Wow.
Yep. And if your name is one of those 24,000s, you might take it off after you actually take a look at the waiver because here's what
Oh, you got a whole
some
thing.
of the waiver says.
Okay.
Participant fully understands and agrees a nail may pierce their hand.
Oh my.
Jesus.
They fully understand and agree that their hand may be smashed with tools.
Oh no. This is. I'm
They also
already
say
out. John, you were right.
choking may occur and gagging or vomit may occur.
Well, that's just a regular weekend.
My Friday night.
They may be asked to ingest live bugs.
Nope.
We've done that, Jenna.
Right?
Really?
Yeah, they're good. I love the bugs.
Crickets.
Um,
What kind of bugs? That's a
their tour may include the use of hypodermic needles, zappers, tasers, or dog shock collars.
I take them regularly to the face. It's okay.
Not the only thing you take regularly. to the
Hey.
face.
Dog shot collar once in a while.
Just call you Olaf. Participants also fully understand and agree that being scared, having a panic attack, etc., does not count as a serious injury. You cannot quit unless it's serious injury or psychological injury is present. What are some
But
other
that's pretty
things?
serious. You could essentially
How-
what
what-
they're saying there is you could develop PTSD, which is a very serious thing I learned all about last week. And yeah, you could be traumatized.
Participant-
How do you get diagnosed for this, like on the spot?
Right?
I'm having like a psychological
Wait.
breakdown here. Now we're just going to stop the scene while we, lay down on the couch for a while.
Get this one.
They must have doctors in the wings.
Participant fully understands and agrees that their nails may be removed from their nail beds.
Okay, that's disgusting.
So this story came out like maybe a week ago. And then all of a sudden, when someone got a hold of the waiver and made it public, now everyone is like getting mad at the person who put this house on because they go, this isn't a haunted house. This is just a certificate for this man to live out his torture fantasies.
yeah, this poses the question then. So if you have a waiver, can you do the fucking thing you want as long as
Suppose
someone
so.
signs your waiver?
It sounds like they've covered a lot in here.
40 pages?
Is it legally binding?
Or like, shouldn't there be certain things that are illegal even if you get permission? Like,
Well-
if you can't help someone commit suicide.
Apparently, someone who worked there says the haunted house literally hires past violent criminals with both assault and sexual crimes to work it.
This is a hoax.
Well, who else
This
would
is
be
a
willing to
hoax.
pull somebody's nails out of their fingers?
Yeah, that's the most extreme. Everything else is like, okay, fine. But pulling your nails out?
Well, you can sign waivers like for when you get surgery. That's like, we're not responsible for what happens to you on the table. So is it much different?
I guess.
Would you do it for 20
No.
G's?
Nope.
Take your 20 G's and suck on it.
Yeah, I'm out with the nail bed thing. Everything else, I was like, okay, fine.
You could
I'm
do.
serious. I wouldn't make it past the front door in a place like that.
Yeah. But people are saying, no, this isn't a. Almost 100% of people who go in end up with PTSD and need intense
See?
therapy.
Oh my gosh. Yep. I hosted a gala last week about, this is not to get all heavy, but it was about like first responders and police officers
Right.
and firefighters that, they set out on this career they wanted to do since they were little kids and something really horrible happens. And now they're kind of messed up for the rest of their lives. It's no joke, PTSD.
Like if you're a Marine or you're JTF, you go through some pretty intense training because you're going to be in some pretty scary life or death situations. You can be captured by terrorists, whatever else. I'm pretty sure that training, you're not yanking people's nails out of their fingers.
Jesus Christ.
Someone wrote this comment,
What
okay?
was, sorry, wait one sec, Jenna. What's JTF? Because all I heard was DTF.
That's the Canadian Special Forces.
Oh, okay.
I don't know
prefer
what it
DTF.
I don't know what it stands for, but
This is what one person wrote. They've balded people by not shaving their hair, but by ripping their hair out. They've pulled teeth and fingernails out. They have a history of rape and sodomy.
Oh my
they
God.
make you eat rotten food, and if you puke, they make you eat that too. They don't obey your safe word. They break bones. The man literally hires past violent criminals. Yeah, we said that. And they start the torture while you're reading the waiver, so you can't complete it. They also have a history of taking your allergies and using it against you. And the money is if you pass 10 plus hours. So it's all bullshit.
Because it said 4 to 7, so it's
Yeah.
you have to be in there longer than 10.
That's messed up.
JTF, by the way, Joint Task Force.
Okay. That is really scary.
Yeah.
I'm just shocked. I'm surprised we haven't seen more about this on the news.
Well, maybe nobody wants to go in, but now that it made the news, people are like 24,000 person wait list. Like, no, thank you.
You know what? The people that work there have to watch out now because now you're going to get some hardcore people like John was just describing, like former Marines that are going to go in there ready to fight back.
Well, yeah.
Oh, geez, I didn't even think of that.
Ready to bring a shank with them or something.
Or just anyone. People have a flight and a fight reaction.
Yeah.
And if someone's a fight and they're getting attacked physically and literally are fighting for what they think is their life, yeah, you better watch out.
You know what my mind just went to is how freaking cool a movie this whole premise.
So
would
when
make.
they make, but when you're signing a waiver, before you sign it, they make people watch a 2-hour movie of everyone in the past 3 years who's gone through the house.
Nope.
And then do you still have to say you want to do it?
Yeah.
Bye, Felicia.
Well, they're covering their bases. I have to hand them that. There's the waiver. That's a very detailed waiver. And then the movie. So
Right.
they're not trying to sneak anything.
And they do put you through like drug test and a physical, so they make sure that you can like handle it. But this, I don't know. I kind of believe
Who
what
can
people are
handle
saying that this
that?
is not a haunted house. This is someone who has torture fantasies who gets to act them legally.
I'm kind
If
of
this is even legally binding.
I'm kind of
because
inclined to
you
think
can't
like that.
sign a contract legally. I don't believe it's legally binding if you're under stress. So if they're already starting this before you sign on the dotted line, that makes it void.
Well, what's so scary to me, too, is that they don't sound like they have your best interests at heart. Like, even places like Saunders, which is pretty tame, obviously, compared to this, but they can tell if you're a kid and you're
Right.
really in distress, they'll stop the show and let you out.
I went
These
to
people
something
wouldn't.
very similar to Saunders Farm when I was living in Niagara Falls, and they actually had a pee your pants board.
Nightmares. Was it Nightmares? There's a
no.
couple on Clifton Hill.
A pee
It
your
wasn't on
pants
Clifton Hill.
board?
Again, it was very similar to Saunders, a little bit outside of the city, in the middle of the country. And yeah, they had a peed your pants board. So, and I said, because I was there and there was like 7 checks on it. And I go, were these all kids that peed their pants? It goes, no, adults. Because they were so
Wow.
scared.
Yeah, there was one in Niagara I remember called Nightmares, and it was
Yeah.
pretty scary. I
Yeah.
made it through, but it was scary. And they touch you and stuff,
Ugh, no, thank you.
which I always thought was an illegal thing. Like, you can't touch people, you know?
Well, I guess you can.
This day and age especially, I would think that would be
Touching you.
as Jenna touches Jesse.
Oh, yeah. You like that? Yeah?
I do want that as my ringtone.
Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's my next cop story. This one happened close to home if you're in Ottawa, in Brockville.
This is the one from Brockville.
This
okay,
is the one
yes.
John sent me.
Yes.
Brockville cop sentenced for on-duty sexual encounter.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is a very detailed story, so here we go. A Brockville police constable who had consensual sex with a woman in his police van while she was naked and handcuffed. Look at John. It's pretty hot.
It's just a regular Friday, Jesse.
Uh-huh.
I'm not opposed to handcuffs.
No, and like with a cop, like how many times have you driven past a cop and you're like, oh,
Oh, yeah.
you know, bend me over. So anyway, he did to this woman. Now he's sentenced to 90 days in jail for criminal breach of trust. His name is Jeffrey William Reen. He's 43. He's been a veteran, he's been a cop for 9 years in Brockville. And here's the thing. He's had several sexual encounters between 2015 and 2017 with this woman. And they met when he arrested her for being drunk and disorderly, just like April Teal from our other story.
Every love story has a different beginning.
Now, he's going to be serving his sentence on weekends to allow him to continue counseling for PTSD, which, as we just talked about, a lot of cops have.
Yep.
Now, here's the thing. So they met one night when she was drunk and disorderly. He arrested her, but then they continued this relationship. But they only did it while he was on duty one time, which is
One time too
and
many.
that's it. This is what he's in
Problem,
trouble
yeah.
for. So they had sex 18 times between those 2 years. So this is when they met.
18 times in 2 years. That's not too much
Sounds
of a heavy.
occasional. No,
that's a
once in a
very
while.
occasional. It's 9 times per year.
Well, it sounds like she was a town troublemaker.
It's like a once a month sort of deal, maybe.
Yeah,
not
or
even.
less. She was known to police. So they met because there was a night she was on a building in Brockville, drunk, and he thought she was suicidal. She was
Okay.
threatening to jump off. So he took her to the hospital for observation. Well, 2 months later, he spotted her again on the same building, pretending she was going to hurt herself. So he arrested her again. This time he charged her with mischief. Well, during the summer, this police officer would see the woman on patrol, and they struck up a casual friendship because she was known to police. So, you know.
Right. And he probably felt like because of the situation he found her in that maybe she just needs someone to talk to.
And so he didn't want to be mean to her.
Right.
You're right.
Well, police officers, they do get in to help people.
Yeah, of course. So anyway, well, one thing leads to another. You know, this is why men and women cannot be friends.
Oh, bullshit.
And it quickly turned sexual. Well, the following places are where they had sex over the course of the 18 months, or 18 times, 2 years. Sorry, it's a really long article. I'm trying to take pieces out because I'm not like Jenna. I didn't prepare properly. They had sex in cars, parks, once in a cemetery,
Ooh, they're
And
freaky.
once at his home and once at hers.
Ooh, they are freaky fucking in a cemetery.
I've always wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Nope.
You know, I'm not even that opposed to it, but like at the same time, it's like
Well, it's not even a necro thing. It's like, I don't know. It's like a naughty because you're not. Is there going to be a
because you're not
ghost or-
supposed to be there.
Yeah.
And it's dark and like
Haunted.
There's dead people buried there. I want nothing to do with it.
there's dead people on all the ground we walk on.
I like a lot of weird shit. I can't even walk through a cemetery in daylight.
It's not
without
about
I
the
love
dead, though.
cemeteries.
It's about like the ghosty, witchy side of it to me. It's
I
like the
love a
vampire.
cemetery.
Can't do it.
Cemetery is one of the most peaceful places you can go to. I walk through the one on near your house all the time.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm surprised I didn't. I walked through there once.
Oh, yeah.
Recently. Well, it was more when it was summer, but I was like, I'm gonna go like meditate in the cemetery.
It's a great place to go to, like, you know it's going to be quiet. And if you go to a pretty cool, this one's like Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, yeah.
If you go to a cool cemetery like you do, you get a chance to, like, look at, Wilfrid Laurier's
Yeah,
buried
that's really
there,
cool.
You know?
And like you learn about people because some of the older cemeteries would write a little like a passage about someone's life, like he
Right.
was a doctor or like.
Yeah.
And if you're feeling sad, which I was at the time, it was kind of gave me perspective.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, I didn't
No,
feel
no.
so sad because I was like, at least I'm not
Well,
dead.
no, but it was that because you're like, wow, like I don't know, you just are learning about families, and I don't know, I'm a weirdo, but yeah, you're right, they're very peaceful. Anyway, so here they go, had sex. So the time they had sex, he was driving a canine van.
When he was on, so the one time he had sex on duty.
This is when they got caught, and all this other stuff came out because in trial you have to tell the truth, and so
Yeah.
So all this other stuff happened. He wasn't on duty.
he wasn't
No.
on duty, but they met on duty, which
Okay.
kind of makes it relevant, right? Because they had a professional quote relationship.
All right.
Because she was the criminal, he was the cop. So then the one time they did it on duty, he was in his canine van, so he had his police dog watching the whole thing.
Oh, poor pups.
She was handcuffed in the back and
Oh.
totally naked, and they were having sex. Well, he
Where?
agreed-
In the car?
So it was in the car and beside the car. So here we go. So this happened 2:30 a.m. She had been bugging him because I guess she had his personal cell phone number to like hook up this night,
Well,
but he
she
was
wanted
working,
it.
and he kept saying, "I can't. I'm working. I'm working." Well, as you girls do, she wore him down.
It's not hard.
Well, I guess it was when he got there. Around 3 a.m., he relented, is what it said, and the pair had sex during his 90-minute lunch break. So he's working
Ooh,
overnight.
guy can.
That's a generous lunch break.
Promising.
Yeah. So at some point, the one was handcuffed. Yeah, I already said that. So here's what the court document said, quote, "The sex started in the police vehicle and migrated to the ground beside the vehicle. Intercourse happened on the ground approximately 1 foot away from the police vehicle. The woman was completely naked. The man was in his police uniform, and his police belt had use of force on it, including a gun and handcuffs, which was
Of
apparently
course,
like
if you're gonna have sex with a cop, might as well have.
But that makes it worse
I
because
know.
like his gun could have
well,
gone
she
off.
could, or she could have
coulda
grabbed it.
During the sex on the ground, he took off his police belt and laid it on the ground beside the female.
Even worse.
That's the problem, right? The handcuffs then came into play. During the tryst, the police officer thought he saw another police car near the park. The naked woman, still handcuffed, hid in a portable toilet unit until the police officer gave her the all clear about 30 minutes later. So he left her in this porta potty for 30 minutes. The judge called the constable's conduct shameful and scandalous.
Yeah, but kind of sexy.
Now, I know,
I just like to pour myself another glass of wine. Might need to light a smoke in here.
it is kind of a hot story.
It is kind of hot.
So what led to the constable's downfall was when he shielded the woman from police probes on various mischief cases because I guess she was a known troublemaker in Brockville, or still is, and they caught on to the fact that he was trying to dismiss her charges or like throw them off the scent, being like, because I guess he liked this woman.
Right.
So he's like, oh, don't look at her.
Oh,
She didn't do it.
So then he let it interfere with business. See,
Right.
there's your mistake. Everything was going well. You know, you were on. You guys had like a sexy 2-year relationship.
He caught feelings. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
You know, just let her take the fall. But maybe he was so scared that if she did get arrested for something that he wasn't involved with, she would rat him out.
But like, what's to rat out if you're having consensual sex off duty?
Well, because this was after they had done it that one time. The time they did it was back in 2016, and this is all just coming out now.
Why do I feel like this is like turning into a fantasy of mine
It should be a
now?
porn movie. So, by the way,
it is.
yeah,
Things just got weird
John's
in
like, I have a
here,
I'm
guys.
sure it
The
is.
energy just completely shifted.
but it's you got to wonder. Everyone in that trial must have been like, "I'd do it."
Right?
I mean,
I would have done it too. I'm not gonna lie. Like that.
for
not
police-
in a park necessarily.
For
though,
police officer,
but a cemetery's one.
for police officer, the car, that's their place of work. We've all had that fantasy of being at work, right? I'm sure we have, and getting it on. I mean, we come from the radio background.
Yeah, I was gonna say those 4 a.m. mornings at the radio station.
Did you never hear that conversation about people, having done it in the studio?
Oh no, but I remember when I was in radio broadcasting school, I found a used condom in one of the studios.
Of course.
The other day at my new place of employment,
We
there
just
was a
needed it
used
for a
condom.
sound effect.
Yeah, there was a used condom in the parking lot right next to my parking spot.
At college, of course.
No, at my new work.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know. I was like, ooh.
The weirdest thing that ever happened at our radio station like that was fucking Dean Valentine. I'm calling him out. Smoked a joint by the air conditioning unit. And so all of his smoke got billowed into the building. And it was like a whole day thing. Everybody thought it was Jenna. But,
Yeah. Come on.
but it wasn't Jenna. It was Dean Valentine.
Everyone did think it was me. I should have just taken the heat.
Yeah.
Poor
get some-
Dean.
But anyway, so here's the most shocking thing to me about this story. And maybe you already know this because you have a lot of police friends. But do you know how much police officers make?
Oh, a lot.
A lot.
Well, it's a lot of the money comes from overtime hours as well.
Oh, well, this was in the States. Oh, no, it was Brockville. 97 grand a year.
It's almost the States.
Yeah, right. Pretty close. But
You can-
97.
You can see it from
Wow.
the cemetery.
Right.
Sean.
No, they do make a lot, especially because he had seniority. Like he'd been a police
Yeah, right.
officer for a while.
As far as I'm concerned, police officers don't make enough.
Well, yeah, I know. but I guess
but
I
you could
just-
say that about any
No,
civil servant.
I know.
Police officers, nurses. You want to talk
Nurses.
about not making a lot
Yes,
of money?
please.
Sure,
Nurses make
sure.
a fraction of what
Yeah.
police officers do.
Nurses should make more than doctors.
Yeah. And
Oh.
they
Yeah.
are very knowledgeable. So we could say that about every civil servant out there. Fire, but they all do make a good amount of money, and they also have great opportunities because they work shift work. Like I have a lot of friends that are firemen too, and because they work shift work, they have side hustles. So a lot of them work 2 jobs.
yeah.
So they'll be a fireman, but because they have 4, like a chunk of time
Well,
off.
look at your friend Mark Hadfield.
Right.
He's a
They'll-
firefighter here in Ottawa, and he's got the stand-up
Right.
comedy thing. He's got a podcast
Exactly.
and a million things going on.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
they also have to put their life on the line every day.
Yes, they do.
And they also can't have sex with who they want to without being judged and fired.
Apparently not.
And going
Right.
to jail.
Yeah, 90 days in jail.
Like, I understand why what he did is wrong,
Yeah.
but I don't understand why he has to go to prison for it.
Well, and the only thing too, in his defense, he was on his lunch break, so it's not like they could say he should have been helping other citizens in distress. He was on his
it
break.
was the gun thing, and I think the abuse of power because he held a role by helping this young woman with,
Yeah,
and if she was on top of a building numerous times and maybe she wasn't that mentally secure,
yeah.
and so he did abuse power.
It's that thing where this isn't a job; it's
Yeah.
a lifestyle.
Although I think his intentions were he just wanted to help this young woman, but then it turned into something
Yeah.
different.
Like Jesse says, he caught feelings.
Yeah.
Well, 90 days in jail, he'll catch feelings in there too. They just might
Catch
not be
more
where
than
he
feelings.
likes.
He might catch gonorrhea.
Yeah. 240 hours community service, and he's going to be on probation for 3 years. And we don't know if he's able to get his job back. Oh, he's also prohibited from contacting his former lover.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
That makes sense too.
Why?
But won't if
Yeah,
they,
I was surprised about that.
because
It's not like they
it
were
was
violent.
wrong. I mean, it's like Mary Kay Letourneau. Remember her back in the day, the teacher that had sex with the guy with
Oh,
her
the
student.
17-year-old.
And
That's different, though.
Yeah,
He was
but
a minor.
when they got older, she went to jail, and he was of age at the time, and they got married, and it was still illegal.
Because of the crime.
I think so.
You know what? That case is fucked because that boy, like, how many times have you thought about it, John, in school? Like, I know it's on the teacher, but, like, he wasn't mad about it.
No. But have you noticed
know.
that too with teachers that sleep with their students? The majority of them are women. The ones you see on the
Well,
news.
because the men aren't going to make that mistake.
Right.
You know, the women think they're
But
going to
there's
get away
there's
with
got to
it.
be a weird psychological thing
Well,
with that.
the male teachers from my high school are all, the ones that are in the news anyway. It was all with boys.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you saying? All us gays are perverts?
No. Well, I mean, you are, but no.
And proudly.
That's why we're friends.
All right, another stupid crime. 5 hitmen are busted after they all kept subcontracting the hit.
Oh, really?
Subcontracted the hit.
Oh.
Right. So this happened back in 2013. There's a businessman in China whose name I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce. He hired a hitman to take out a competitor who was suing him. He offered the hitman $282,000 to do the job. The hitman then turned around and took the $282,000 and subcontracted out the work to another hitman, offering that hitman $141,000. Still making a really
Less
decent
than
profit,
half.
right? Then that hitman
No, that is half.
then that hitman subcontracted out another one, offering him $109,000.
Wow.
Then that hitman again subcontracted out, offering another one $99,000.
So 4 hitmen.
Yep. And then finally, number 5, that hitman subcontracted out to number 5, offering him just $14,000. Well, that very last hitman, snitches get stitches, bitches. That final hitman actually ended up meeting up with the targeted man and told him there was a hit out for him and made plans to fake the guy's murder and get more money. The target agreed to it, but then changed his mind and actually went to cops. They all got busted at the end of the day.
Except for the
Wow.
victim, I hope. Or was
Well, yeah.
Where does one find a hitman, number one, and then a subcontracted
surprised.
hitman? The
Well,
big-
yeah, I am surprised.
Hey, I'm pretty broke. I got a lot of debt. Offer me $282,000 and we might be talking.
God.
I'm logging on to Kijiji right now.
But like, yeah, like the fact that there's 5 hitmen, like that you can find them that easy.
You'd
Now-
have to look on the dark web is what you'd have to look.
Well, where do you find that?
Yeah.
Well, remember this dark web? Haven't you heard of this dark
I
web?
have, but I've
but-
never seen it.
Because
How
we're
does one
not,
get
we're
onto
not
this?
looking for things like that. You know, they sell like children on that.
No,
And
I
they
know.
hire hitmen, and it's a horrible, horrible place.
But you know what? Some of these guys in your story might have just been like, you know, I was going to use can we still say wiggers in this day and age? Do you know what I mean
No.
by that? Like Kevin Federline?
No, you can't say that.
You know what I mean? That,
No,
okay.
you can't say that.
You didn't hear what I just said then, everyone. But you know what I mean? The kind of guy that's like, yeah, I'm a thug. And it's like, yeah, I'll take your money and take them out. But really, you have no intention to because you don't have the balls.
Right.
I don't know that they're all real hitmen.
Like, imagine if you were the first hitman that got offered $282,000, okay? I'll give you $282,000 to go kill this guy. Him being like, sure, I'll take the money. And then what? He subcontracted the first one for $141,000. So I got 282. I'll give you to do my job 141 grand.
Because you're a hitman.
I'm still walking away with,
You know a guy.
and I'm still walking away with half the money.
Hell
And I've
yeah.
also wiped my hands clean of it.
And in your mind, you'd totally think, I can't get in that much trouble for this. A
Right.
good lawyer will get me off.
Right.
Yeah.
Smart.
All I did
It
is
is
take
kinda
money.
The
I didn't,
first
you know.
hitman was smart. The second, third, fourth, not so much.
They just tried to repeat the idea.
Right.
Yeah, not so smart. I want to know why. So, do we know who tried to put the hit on him?
It was this businessman. So I guess it was in
So they're
China.
competitors.
So in China, they were competitors. One was suing the other. And in China, you don't mess around in business. And you're also messing with like a ton of money in China.
You know, that's the whole thing. The states need to take note about all their litigation and stuff because at some point, that's fine to sue everyone. But if you piss someone off enough, they might come and take you out. And then what are you going to do? So be
Right.
careful with all your legal fighting and
Be
stuff.
careful who you put hits on.
I guess.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, yeah? You like that? You like that?
Daddy. She's missing a daddy,
Daddy?
in there. She's missing a daddy. You like that, daddy?
Here, John, I can download the clip. I'll send it to you.
Thank you.
Remember when you used to record things like on the radio and then add them as like a voice note and then you'd make it your ringtone?
No.
No.
I don't know.
No one did?
But that's becoming my ringtone.
All right.
I just got to figure out how to do that now. I can produce this show. I just can't get that to my phone.
Well, what was her name? April Teal. We cheers to you, young woman, and we hope that people Venmo you $5.
Yeah, come on the podcast.
Cheers.
What on the podcast?
Oh, yeah? You like
Come
that?
on it.
Come
You
on.
like that?
Daddy?
Goodbye, people on Twitch. Thanks for tuning
Oh,
in.
we were on Twitch?
Yes, we were on Twitch.